Everybody, you have came to the webinar Know Your Rights when working in Estonia. Lovely to have all the viewers and participants online and the experts here in the room. Why we talk about this theme? Because we have a lot of the foreign workload in Estonia already over 5-10 years time. We have also seen the problems with them. And the problems mainly arise with working conditions, with salary payments, with overtime work, with different kind of agreements employees have with employers, and they are not doing all of that willingly. They might come here with good intentions, with good plans to earn more money, to get better life, and they have good promises from the employers for them. But finally, it may end up in having problems and having bigger problems than just 1 month's salary, which is not paid. Some of these cases might end up in the end of being the trafficking cases. And we have seen that last year from the statistics, the employers failed to pay foreign workers over 320,000 euros. That's a lot. And also they have some issues with living conditions, which are inhumane, and also some kind of restrictions in the workplaces related to the freedom of movement and also to the possibilities to leave from these restricted working arrangements. We also today introduced the campaign, You Have Rights. That is a campaign done by the Ministry of Justice and Digital Affairs. This started in June this year. And the focus of this campaign is to give the knowledge to the foreign workers, to give the knowledge about the rights they have in Estonia, the rights they have working in Estonia. And this campaign targets third countries and third country nationals who work in Estonia. And we have spread it through media, social media, web search ads, outdoor advertising, and also leaflets. So we hope that everybody who is watching us today will give this information for the one colleague they know, and so that it would go further and more people would understand that they just don't have the fraud promises in Estonia, but they also have the rights the employer must use. And today in this webinar we introduce the foreign workforce situation in Estonia. We show some real life experience stories and we talk about those. And we through that we give viewers knowledge about different institutions who might be helpful in these cases where you actually need assistance and when you need help. And we would like to encourage everybody who is online following us at the moment to pay attention themselves to these kind of cases, what is actually where they might ask different questions, that whether this is normal. If you already have this doubt in your head that whether this is normal, then most probably there are some of the issues which aren't. So in these cases you have the possibility to report about the cases, and you can also talk with the person who are engaged into these circumstances. In the webinar we will have some presentations, we will have some video stories, but we also have experts in the room who will give their opinions, their view of the organizations they are coming from. So today we have the experts from Social Insurance Board. That's a central body who assists at the moment victims of trafficking and also victims of crime in Estonia. We have the expert from Labor Inspectorate. who work with any kind of breaches of the labor legislation, which are related to the working conditions and working contracts. We have the expert from Police and Border Guard Board, mainly dedicating to the migration questions in the police. We have the expert from Integration Foundation to talk about the possibilities for the foreign workers in Estonia. And we have the expert from Estonian Hotel and Restaurant Association, who can give the sight to the questions which might arise in this sector. And as we know, then the hospitality sector worldwide is one of the sectors where the trafficking cases might be actively ongoing. So the agenda for today is we go further with the short presentation, then we have a short video, and then we go for the panel discussion with the experts I just mentioned. And everybody who is online, you have the best possibility to ask questions from the participants of the panel. So you may do so to add your question under the live stream in the comments, and then we are able to take it from there and ask it from the experts who are gathered here for this webinar. And just to remind you already now, but we will just go to that later on. So we have almost 25 years online possibility to ask from helpline. We have trafficking helpline 607 320. That's a number where you are able to call working times, working hours, working days. If you call on the Sunday evening 8 o'clock, then you will get still the assistance, but then it will be given by the experts from the victim support helpline. So this is the place where you can always turn with your worries and with your doubts if you see that something is not correct in your working conditions, and if you have any doubt that you have been exploited. That's one of the key words for the trafficking. But to see what is the trafficking cases in Estonia and what is the current situation, then I have the pleasure to ask here the first expert, Sirle Blumberg from Social Insurance Board, who will give the first insight to the issues we have at the moment in Estonia. Sirle, floor is yours.
So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It probably depends what time and when you actually look or watch this webinar. I had another walk with my colleague another day to the seminar, and then she mentioned that actually, you know, it's not really easy to understand what is human trafficking. So I was thinking that maybe before talk different cases or how it works, I will try to bring some examples, words, what describe exploitation and human trafficking. So bear with me a little bit, and then in the end we will see where we go with this information. So actually, what is exploitation? What words do we use? What words do we see? It's really much connected to the control, to the power, person humiliation, depths and threats. And the core of all of this is actually that somebody has been used this person's vulnerability. There are some examples, if you ask, but what is vulnerability? Then some examples what you can read on your screens are simple, that somehow this person or the person has been put in a situation that they are just afraid to leave. They are afraid to talk, to leave, even if the door is open, and kind of you could leave from this situation. So how these examples and this all looks to you right now? I could describe this only with one word. It's pretty awful. And to some people, those stories, and especially my position in social insurance board, when me and my team work every day with victims, seems really emotional. So let's steer this emotion a little bit down, and I present you also something practical, how the exploitation looks from another side. So from other side, actually, you can also think about this, that somebody is gaining from this, from using people, a really, really big profit. Usually it means money. But let's use the word profit. And remember, by using the other person is actually gaining profit is not accidental, but premeditated. Using other person is not accidental, but premeditated. So what do I mean by that? This is never accidental. Using the other person is never accidental. Even is, and usually what we hear when we also somehow not also only working with the victim, but being connected also with the exploiters, they find very different excuses, and I will bring those excuses also to you, because those excuses or thoughts can have anybody, even maybe the person who is in a helping position. That, let's say, they who came to Estonia, they themselves wanted to work long working days, long weeks, because they didn't come here for the vacation. They themselves didn't ask the contract. They were agreed to work without the contract because they wanted to earn much more money. So they were kind of agreed to receive the salary in an envelope. Actually, as I said previously, they could leave. The door was open, or he was not doing this job really well. We hear such examples or excuses pretty much, especially when a person starts to fight for them, for their rights, and so then those sentences come up really, really quickly. So what I want to underline, that using the other person's vulnerability, sometimes people say that it's naivety or their lack of knowing the law, is actually not giving anybody permission for abuse. So this is really clear, that how naive a person can be is not giving the right to abuse this person. So come back to now really concretely, but what is then exploitation? simply to say, it actually means that somebody is taking advantages of these workers, and they use their position of power. And usually it involves unfair, unsafe, abusing working conditions. Because today we actually talk about more labor exploitation. And how serious this topic is actually in Estonia. I know that Anu after will probably explore this topic more when we sit on a panel, but just some numbers as well. Only this year we have received a little bit over 500 calls and talking with people, different people, about situations where might look like exploitation. In this year, there have been totally new clients, around 90 people. So 90 people who find this number, but not only found this number, they found a braveness actually to call, because it's not easy in a situation when you feel that you have been abused a quite long time, pick up the phone or ask any help. So those 90 people have somehow either been in really bad situation and suffered quite long time, and just looking for some kind of way out has been calling. And also in this year there are already quite many criminal proceedings initiated by police and border guard board. So if you think, is this number small or big, then just think about Estonia. We only have in Estonia, living in Estonia, 1.3 million people. And this crime is extremely serious crime. It's a huge human rights violation and devastating for the victim. So we say that if somebody has been stepping out, has been really, really seriously abused. So what we want to say with this webinar and with our panel discussion, that everybody should know that all the authorities where people come asking for help are for free and really safe. So if you are a person who notice such a kind of situation, or you who you are in the situation, then you should just take from this one number, go to web page, and you should know that there are definitely ways out from this situation. Thank you.
A foreign worker has come forward to share her story. Her rights were violated because she had no work contract. Have you experienced something similar or know someone who has? Let's listen together.
Hello. Is this the helpline?
Hello. Yes. What happened?
I'm from Moldova. I came to Estonia a few months ago. I got what sounded like a really good job offer, cleaning work. The boss said he will pay my living costs and no need for contract, so I could save more money.
If an employer doesn't give you a contract, it means they don't want to pay taxes, don't plan to pay you the promised salary, or both.
At first it was okay, but then he started asking me to do more and more work just to get any pay. He told me people like me, like foreign people, must work harder to earn their money.
The employer was deliberately taking advantage of the foreign worker, changing work conditions without agreement, and delaying her salary.
I didn't have a choice. I worked for weeks, 12 hours every day. And when I finally got paid, it was only for 8 hours a day, not 12. You know, I asked about the rest. He said I should be thankful because he can send me back where I came from anytime. I don't know what to do now.
In Estonia, 1 month of work is normally 152 to 184 hours. If you work more, the employer must give you either time off or pay you 1.5 times your normal salary for those extra hours. If you're a foreign worker and have problems like no work contract, unpaid overtime, no rest breaks, or the employer treats you in a manipulative way, or if you know someone in this situation, please reach out for help.
Now actually you saw the short video clip of the call what my colleagues from Social Insurance Board receive basically every day. Some of them are extremely serious when we need to act really quickly, but this call actually is really typical in the way that, as you saw, this woman was basically telling her story in a one breath. It means that she had already suffered quite a long time. And as you also recognized or when you heard, then we don't interrupt, because the information what person is maybe gathering in her head is really, really important. So nobody was judging, and that this is what you need to know, that if you are the person who calls, nobody will judge you. Why you stayed there so long, why you didn't actually come forward sooner. Just do the call and we will try to find solution with you together.
Mm-hmm. And now we start the panel discussion, and I'm happy to see the list of the best experts, I would say, in Estonia here with us and with the participants online. And I will just introduce all of you and then give a short word before asking from each one of you to the round, basically, to see the connections with the team we are talking about today. But first of all, we have a first one on my left side, leading specialist of the Social Insurance Board, Sirle Blumberg, and Sirle is a head of the Victim Support Unit for Trafficking Victims. Next to her is Kairit Kuusamaa, who is a legal advisor of the Labor Inspectorate and working with the questions of possible trafficking cases which end up in the Labor Inspectorate. Marko Peters from Police and Border Guard Board, and he is the head of the Border Migration Surveillance Service in the western district of police. Next to Margo, we have Britta Saks, who is from Integration Foundation and is the Adoption Area Manager. And next to Britta, we have Külli Kraner from Estonian Hotel and Restaurant Association, and she is the CEO of this association. But starting from Sirle, and then this is a question for all of you, then just briefly to say that what are the linkages with the foreign workers in Estonia and your linkages to your organization and your everyday work?
So you actually already mentioned that we have a human trafficking prevention and victim help line 6607-320, and 90% of those people who get in a bad situation actually call us directly. And the link between all of those people here is we are doing really serious cooperation with the Labor Inspectorate. Also with the situation when people are really, really afraid, and there might be threats that this is a serious exploitation situation, then I either call or write to the police, been calling and doing this also to Margo. Britta is actually in this cooperation line when a person is actually come out from the situation and go further with the different possibilities. And my one of the favorite cooperation with Külli and the company is actually that I think that they are the first association in Estonia who actually were so much brave to do trainings for the staff, so they are really good noticers when they might see in a hotel situation, restaurant situation, something what shows that there might be abuse. So they have really good e-training what they use to educate the staff. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. So Kairit, Labor Inspectorate.
Yeah, Sirle already told a lot about. I'm not actually a labor inspector. I'm a legal advisor, but I try to be in my everyday work as a coordinator of these issues. I try to. I give the help to our inspectors and change information between the different authorities.
Margo?
Yeah, Police and Border Board has a huge role in the foreign workers who are coming to Estonia. We are dealing with employers, employees. Our task is to check the background, to give out permits for the working in Estonia, for short-term permit, for resident permits. But also we are issuing visas together with the foreign ministry. So our work task is also the immigration supervision in Estonia, and we do it together with Tax and Customs Board and Labor Inspectorate. So our area is quite large.
Thank you. Britta?
Yes, thank you. So our work at the Integration Foundation, it is more to do with prevention of labor trafficking and labor exploitation, because we offer the Settle in Estonia adaptation program. So this is about sharing information, sharing knowledge, also language courses. So to eliminate those barriers that newcomers have when they arrive in a new country, to avoid such exploitation altogether.
And Külli?
Yes, in Estonian Hotel and Restaurant Association we are representing a little bit less than 200 hotels and restaurants, and I would say that a foreign workforce is more and more important for us. For example, from Ukraine, altogether in our sector is working approximately 7% or more of workers. So it's really important for us to raise awareness about topics like being those people here like nicely and happy. So it's mainly raising awareness in our situation.
Thank you. So as everybody have seen, then we have quite an expertise from these fields, but now we'll get more deeper into each of the authority and the possibilities they may offer to the foreign workers. Then I'm asking Sirle first from you. So we already talked about the hotline service and the people, we also saw the video where the people are actually calling, and that's like the normal video you will get every day. But what happens next? if the people call you, and then what do you do actually next? What are the obligations and the possibilities you can offer for the workers to gain their self-respect back?
First of all, we believe this person's story. It's a little bit different maybe sometimes from the institution who do more inspections. They look both sides, but we believe the story. As in this video and later on in this video, people usually say that they start with the topic that they didn't receive the money or they didn't get payment. So our first assignment is actually ask person what they want, and it might be that they say that I want to get my money back or my salary back, or they might say that I want justice. If they say I want justice, then it's a longer procedure. But if we start from this first one, then there comes in the actually cooperation with Labor Inspectorate, and where the person can actually the application for getting a chance to go labor dispute. And as we all know, people, the foreigners who come to Estonia don't learn so quickly Estonian, but they need to bring the application in Estonian language. Thank God today we have AI and Google Translate and everything, but we also help them a little bit to how to apply. But here we do really, let's say, almost everyday cooperation with Labor Inspectorate and labor disputes, because they have in their website really, really good and well done short videos how you actually can do an application. And now when you think that why we kind of do a little bit the work of Labor Inspectorate, but no, our point here is that actually to recognize the exploitation moment, because exploitation can lead also to the human trafficking, and people are usually also really, really afraid. They're afraid of their employers, and in this situation. Sometimes we need to negotiate with the person and say that we can't protect you physically, it can be done by the police. So you agree also to work with the police. And as people been told and lied that don't trust any governmental institution, so here we can show that this is right now only place what you can trust. And so if they have this experience talking with us, talking with the labor inspector, seeing the police, and they see that something is going further, they really feel that they are protected. Then from such a cause has been started quite many human trafficking cases. So, but I want to just underline one thing, that nobody will be afraid to call, that we actually connect quickly to the police. We always ask permission from the person. We always tell and share the information, so the person can decide and understands the steps, where those steps can lead on.
And also there are a couple of other services you might
yes,
offer.
If this person is recognized the human trafficking victim, then actually there are a lot of services what we can offer. Sometimes people need safe housing accommodation. It is possible juridical help, of course psychological help. So this range of services that person can actually receive is quite big, but but also before the person is recognized as a human trafficking victim, there are also many services what we can offer, and it all is for free.
And Social Insurance Board is the state coordinating body for offering assistance services for crime victims. And that's not the case in all of the places in the world, even in Europe.
Exactly.
In number of countries, it might be non-governmental organizations who offer all kind of these services. So I think we should be lucky that there are state services in place. And going further, thank you, Sirle, with the state services, then if the case ends up in Labor Inspectorate, or you find it suspicious that it might be the case of trafficking, then what are your possibilities to react to it?
At first place, when we receive, for example, a tip from somebody, then we usually search in our databases. Do we have something already with this employer? We share, we contact and share information with the police to find out where the person is who is asking for help. It is also possible that people call us. We also have a free counseling service from Monday to Friday. The number is 640-6000. It is free. People can ask any questions they have related from the labor relationship, or how to get their money, how to enter the labor contract, and so on. Next to the Labor Inspectorate, there is also out of court dispute solving body, the labor dispute committees. We have 8 of them. So if the person wants to receive their money, they have a labor dispute, they can simply write an application. It is also a free service. You don't need a lawyer to represent you. You just have to write down what do you want. Of course, we have this counseling service, but we can't provide help by writing this application. So we contact with the victim support service. We can ask from the person that if you do you need help, can I provide your contacts to the victim support unit? They contact you and they will help you to sign the papers to the labor dispute committee.
If you talk about these labor dispute committees, then what is the percentage of the foreign workers with the claims in these committees?
It is raising. For example, if in 2023 we had claims from foreigners, it was like 20%. It is already, last year it was already every 4th of application was from the foreign worker. So actually it is good because it maybe shows that people trust us.
This is good, and we really hope that after today, then there will be also more of those people who actually are not satisfied with the circumstances which are exploitive to themselves and ask for the help from the state institutions. And as said already, that's free of charge. Different kind of possibilities to contact by phone lines, by chat, by emails, and that's also possible to go with the claims to the Labor Dispute Committee if there are different kind of breaches of the labor contracts. But if we just go into for a moment to the employer side, then how well do they cooperate?
It depends on the case. We have had situations where it is even impossible to get in touch with the employer, or when the inspector goes to the employer's office, nobody is there. There is nothing to inspect. There have been rare cases when the door has been slammed in front of our faces, like, no, you're not coming in. Then it is possible to go back with the police, of course, but usually they are very cooperative. And but of course, when you speak about these labor disputes, this is the different situation. We see that we have seen employers' representatives who arrogantly say that, okay, send the information wherever you want, nothing will happen with us, and I'll start a new company, and everything continues. This is sad.
But even with this attitude, then do normally the claims what the workers give to the Labor Dispute Committee, will this be successful for them?
Everything depends on the evidence. Actually, what we usually recommend, you should have something on paper. If you don't have a written contract and you have unpaid salary, even if you don't have an email address, just write an SMS, contact with, I don't know, WhatsApp, whatever you have, then be a written mark, and you can use it that I have made a claim and the employer doesn't respond. This is a good thing. Everything you have, just add it to your application, and if the employer is passive and your application seems to be real, that the commission believes you, and usually they do, then it's a good possibility that you get this decision. It is good to know that from the Labor Dispute Committee you can get this decision within 45 days instead of in going to court. There might be years. So this is the cheap and easy way to get your money back.
Thank you. Good tips. But now heading to police. If you will get a case from the Social Insurance Board or the Labor Inspectorate, then what happens next?
Yeah, few things are similar as in labor inspection. So we always check the background, previous violations or notification, because maybe always all information doesn't lead to criminal investigation and the crime. It could be something different. So that's why I always say that sharing is caring, because we need to have this information. And sometimes if we get maybe some small details what we are missing, we can start our proceedings. Sometimes some other people can help others, because it's not very rare that there is only one victim. It could be more. So that's very important to get us information, and then we can find our next steps and what could be done. Of course, we try to evaluate it. We try to find any evidences when it's needed, and we see that it should be started the criminal investigation. We work with prosecuting office, and then we start, of course, investigation. But sometimes it's so that we just follow information. We make interviews. We ask from the employer, from also from the company, and it's sometimes even good that if you already start some proceedings, sometimes the behavior change. So it means that if the employer will not pay the taxes, will not pay the salary and so on, but if we make intervention and they see that authorities start to look the company, sometimes they change their behavior, and it's positive things for both sides, of course.
But if we talk about the possible cases of trafficking, from which sectors you will see the cases, or where you have to go to make your supervision visits?
Yeah, we have different, usually the places where are possibility to pay salary in with hand, so this means that there is no bank account, there is no bank transfers. Of course, sectors also like in hotels or cleaning system, so it could be possible victims also for agriculture. Usually the places where the people who are coming here doesn't need Estonian language, where the salary can pay with cash, and also where is maybe not so high demand. So if you need some special equipment, special training. So it's mean that it's maybe less possibility, because usually also the people who are coming to Estonia, they can contact with our migration advisors, which mean that always if you want to come to Estonia to work here, even previously, you can get all the information what you need to understand what are the conditions, how much should be the salary, should I have the contract. We have from Monday till Friday, from 9 till 3 o'clock, we have the number 6123 500, so where everybody can call them. Also, if you are abroad, you can write migration advisors, and you can Google Migration Advice Estonia. In real life, we have some cases when the person sends documents which employer provides and says, okay, I've done everything, you can now come to work in Estonia, and you need to pay for that 3,000 euros. But in real life, the paperwork, the fees are less than 100 euros, so it's not reasonable to pay so large amounts of money. And some cases there are forged documents, so the people they're paying and now they want to apply visa, but it comes out that in real life it's a forged document and it's not real. So there are different cases what we can prevent, or also we can help the people if they have in some situations. We always try to find solution, what should be the next steps, and we can discuss and figure out how we can help the person.
Yeah, maybe just for the viewers, then Migration Advice Service. This is quite new in police, but this is one of the services which is available in 3 languages, if I'm not wrong, Estonian, Russian and English. And this is what we suggest also to use for the foreign workers, to ask any question about different kind of permits, and also of the migration questions which might be also solved by the police.
Yeah, it could be involve their working permits, it could involve some family members, other persons. It's the same, it's like also sometimes it's like a little bit like a helpline, that if you don't know what to do, you can always turn, it's free, and you can get advice what could be the next steps.
Maybe one of the questions which always comes in mind if you talk about the law enforcement, then people are a bit afraid of coming to you. You also in a nice uniform, not every one of us, but what you would say from your side to the people from the street, basically, the foreign workers who doesn't know the culture, who doesn't know the traditions, who might be threatened by the police, that if you go there, then one thing what happens, you will be sent off from this country and you are never able to come back. Then how to gain this trust or build this trust?
Yeah, we can say that we can look the numbers. In Estonian trust for Estonian police is quite high, and I had real cases when the people have run away. I chased them, I stopped them, and then I ask, why you run away? I say, okay, in my home country, police stops me, they beat me, and they do anything like this, and now they start to wait, what you doing? Say, okay, we are just talking, we are explaining the situation, and we acting according to the law. So I think you should not be afraid for the policeman. We are here to help you, not always to punish you. So we try always to find some solutions which could help the person. So it's not our task only the punishment. I understand that if you violate the traffic, even then sometimes the police will explain you what happens, what happened, and then you find solution what will be the next steps. Not always punishment.
Thank you. I think this also should gain trust now, from this webinar. But now going to the Integration Foundation. Then you mentioned earlier the program Settle in Estonia. Can you describe it more? What are the possibilities through this program for the foreign workers to get to this program, and what they can get from this program?
So normally how the process goes is that when the person applies for the permit to the police board or the embassy abroad, they get their residence permit or right of residency, depending on where they're from. And then they receive an email from the Police and Border Guard Board with the invitation to the Settle in Estonia program. So they can sign up for it themselves on the settleinEstonia.ee website if they log in with their ID card. And from there, on their personal dashboard, they will see all the courses that are available to them. And the idea of the courses is exactly to eliminate those barriers that the newcomers face. Lack of information, lack of knowledge, lack of language skills. So we provide adaptation courses, but also language courses. And the adaptation courses cover a wide range of different topics, including the culture, like that you don't have to be afraid of the authorities and that actually they're here to help you, and most of the services are for free. But apart from this general information about the culture and how the systems work, we also cover the topic of work life in Estonia in more detail, like that you need to have a contract, what are your rights when you sign the contract, like what you will get paid when you actually do overtime, and so on. So it gives a really quite a lot of information about work life in Estonia as well, like including the work culture. But since we're talking about the rights, then it also gives information of where to turn in case you have some issues, in case you run into some problems. Because most people, when they do experience some exploitation, they sort of have this feeling that something is not right. So just to encourage people to really reach out for help in case they do run into some problems with their employer. But apart from the Settle in Estonia program, since Integration Foundation is offering other services as well, then I think the topic of isolation is another important thing, that the newcomers here do not feel isolated. We are also offering, for example, language supporting activities like language clubs, language cafes, different excursions around Estonia, so that people really can connect with others as well and learn the language and really make connections. Because I think one of the bigger problems is isolation. If the person is isolated, they're also more vulnerable to these exploitation topics.
Yeah, I think with these trafficking cases we have seen also that people are among their communities and among their cultural communities, and also the ones who might be helping them to come to work in Estonia and who offer those job places and also mediate these job places, that these are the community members and they are coming from the same communities, so that the integration, they just don't go out for looking for the new contacts. But you enter the Settle in Estonia program, then everyone who has got the permit in Estonia to work, they can enter. Is it so?
Anyone who has a permit in Estonia, anyone who has a right of residence or residence permit can enter this program, yes.
And do you know the approximate number of the participants who have been entering the program until now?
It's quite a lot of people. It's many thousands of people, because now we have people also from Ukraine. This is like definitely the main target group. But I would say we really accommodate people from all backgrounds. It doesn't matter on what ground that the person has arrived in Estonia, they still have the right to participate. And it is very strongly encouraged as well. Because for some target groups this program is compulsory, and for some it is voluntary, but strongly recommended.
Thank you. So Settle in Estonia is the program for integration and for language and cultural courses, I would say. But now heading to Külli and the sector of the hotels and restaurants, then I might say that you see a lot of foreigners in this sector nowadays. Is it so?
Yes, it is. Definitely. As I said, foreign workforce is very important for us. Many Estonians, even though paid very well, they don't want to do those jobs. We offer simpler jobs in kitchens, in hotels. So we really rely on foreign workforce. And the situation has changed for us because before Russia attacked Ukraine in 2022, then there was one more chain player. It was staffing agencies. which we were very reliant, meaning that we actually wanted to control what kind of contracts they made with our workers. When it was a service contract, then what about holidays? What about overtime work? So this is what our companies always wanted to mention, that we always need to ask those questions from our workers. Now, as many our workers came also before from Ukraine, then now they are already mostly here. So now it's more easier for us to make direct contracts with them. Also, we have very nice connections. When there is one nice person already hired, then they are suggesting their friends, family, people they know. So it's, I would say that our hotels and restaurants are really satisfied with workers from Ukraine. But of course we hire also workers from Asia and some other countries, but the proportion is not that high. And when we are thinking about foreign workers, then somehow we compare them as like young people when they come to us. They are really often, they don't know their rights. They are not really like fighting for their rights, and also they are not ready to speak up when we are talking about the foreign workforce. Then they are basically maybe afraid, or their mental situation is not that good to come to us to say that there is something bad in our situation.
So what have you done in your sector for them to speak up, to talk about the problems they have encountered?
As you already mentioned, or Sirle mentioned the training course, online training course we made all together with Estonian Social Insurance Board and the Ministry of Interior. Thank you for the cooperation for that. So we are offering our members and also workers in their companies to know the problem, because very often when it's like human trafficking, then common entrepreneur, they maybe don't connect with that. So we try to give it in a very easy way in several languages to understand that this might be a problem, or there might be a problem with one of your workers. So and the other thing is also that in many international hotel chains there are interior rules and standards that they need to follow and contract their suppliers. So yeah, I would say that we really liked to take care about our workers, because they are our gold. Our results are dependent on our people, as in service sector. Yeah, so we are trying to raise awareness in every sense with our members.
Yeah, I think that's great, and also one of the cooperative association from Estonian employers field, I would say, has been the Hotels and Restaurant Association, and over the years we have done different seminars for starting to notice the questions of violence, like starting from the domestic violence, violence against children, also different kind of, I would say, maltreatment of children, leaving children alone in the hotel rooms and parents going away. So we have covered these issues as well. And now, as said, there's a special e-learning course for the personnel of the hotels.
Yes. So in a hospitality sector, we are always like positive, and maybe I gave a too positive overview of the situation. Of course, we are not naive, and the problem is definitely there, even though we are not like, it's not our first topic every day. And also our people are important, and also our guests are important. So we try to notice all of them, and from association side we try to tell our companies and to remind that look at those aspects too.
Because there are small signs and it's easy to walk by and not to see. But if you have a doubt, then you have the possibility also to react. Thank you. But now the question for all of you. We have talked about possible cases of exploitation, possible cases of trafficking, how your associations at the moment dealing with these questions and what kind of assistance offering. But today we have around 10 registered crime cases of trafficking registered in 1 year. That's not a huge number if we talk about the total registered crime rate, which is around 20,000 nowadays mainly and mostly. The number is rising for crimes against property, of course, in these economical times. But we know that trafficking is invisible, that you are not able to see everything with your eyes if you just look at the person. There's no more violence included, I mean physical violence, so that you can see bruises or anything. There's a lot of the things done through the control of somebody, through I would say the motivation, but not meaning that motivating in a good way, but motivating of doing as the trafficker asks. Then if you would have this goldfish in your pool, then and you would like to ask one question from this goldfish to change the situation of exploitation in Estonia today, then what would you ask? What would be your wish? So we can start from Sirle. You have had time to think about it.
Now, if I say it's look, but I will say it. The best team around me who can see is my wish, and it doesn't mean that I don't have the team already. But we all know that in all institutions there are, because this crime is extremely not only serious, but it's also really specific. You need to have a really good knowledge. So my wish is that this goldfish fasten up our knowledge about human trafficking. So those people who are actually working with those cases are already so ready, so motivated, with the best knowledge that in this we could speed up. And it doesn't mean that it's not already going there, but
to get it faster.
But it can't get it faster because yes, I like to do things quicker than usually. Maybe sometimes the things are going. So this is my wish.
Thank you, Kairit.
Yeah. One of my wildest dreams are that for the past 2 years we have trained not only labor inspectors or police officers, but other authorities as well. And now we all, I assume that now we all have this knowledge. We all have these contacts made. So now what we need is the joint operational center, like our Lithuanian or Norwegian colleagues have, because we can't play in our, we can't work alone. Mm-hmm. We have to cooperate, and this is effective when the employer sees that this isn't worth anymore to exploit people. Mm-hmm. So this is my wildest dream.
Thank you. Margo?
Yeah, of course the best one would be that we don't have such crimes. But of course it happens, and I would like to get all the evidence in the golden plate. It will be also very easy. But we always struggle with the resources, that we don't have not enough maybe manpower, not enough information. That's why I also told that the sharing is caring. So I would say that we should more notice and ask maybe from the people that is it all okay with you? Do you have any problems? So we can maybe help them to to find out the right choices and maybe just to come out and tell the stories and that is from what we learn and we get better.
Thank you. Britta?
Yes, from my side, I think I would wish that people would feel more empowered in their positions, because why this exploitation can happen is because people are vulnerable. So I would eliminate those like not only barriers but also the vulnerability of the people, that they would be more aware of their rights and also more aware of themselves and recognize the signs if something is not right and react and do something about it, so that they would not be in a victim mode.
And Külli?
Yeah, from my side, I would wish that our businesses would be more and more responsible, really inside, that that we would have very instructed staff at all levels to understand what I should notice, what should I do, should I react when I see something, and not to be afraid to react. And from other side, I would wish better and better cooperation between organizations who can give us the knowledge and who can, like we actually have very good already in Estonia, but we can also improve that to next level and next level and next level.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement. So thank you, the panelists. Now we have the number of questions coming from the people who look at this webinar from online. And the first question is, what do I do if I don't know who my employer is? So I think that goes mainly maybe for Margo and Kairit.
Yeah, that's a good question that we are struggling when we carry out the inspection. Actually, all the employees should be registered in our employment register. All the employees have access to there, so maybe this is one of the options. We have access to other databases as well. For example, if the person only knows that I get calls from someone whose name is Ivan, and they know the number, the phone number, maybe we can check or ask for the police. Do you know anything? Where are you working? Where is the place? Maybe we can check which company is registered there. These are the opportunities.
Yeah, that's why I always say that the paper is very important. So it means that you should have the contract, and in your contract is always the details in which company you are working, in which are the working conditions, which are your rights and obligations. So I would say that at first I would always ask about it. If I don't know, then just ask from the company that which is mine, because today is also many people, they have different companies, they have different names, so you should always can ask, okay, in which company I'm really working, because one person can have different businesses.
And then you can just, I don't know, Google the company and to see whether it's a correct one. In
Estonia is a very good possibility. If you know or somebody offers a job in Estonia, you go to the Google and there are many pages where is the background of the company. You can see their budget, you can see the salaries, you can see the taxes, so you can already make a background check and figure out that is it the company where you want to work or not.
But I would like to ask the discussion that maybe somebody is right now in the position that already left from this place. Actually, I think that we had the same case together when one person was telling the story but already left the workplace. My suggestion is start to tell your story, because of this person that told the story said, okay, but I can show you where I worked. I know this person is picking up the other person in such and such days. So what we did, I asked from that time, I remember from Margo that, and this person as well, are you ready to meet each other so they can do investigation? How they do, I don't know how they do it, but your team or you actually found out the company name, because of that we had the chance to also help the person to give the application to labor dispute committee. So start to tell your story. We found out the ways and pick out some sentences where we can see already that we can get the information.
Mm-hmm. Then if you already started from the cases, then if someone calls, then how to ensure that the anonymity is ensured?
Really good question. This is mostly that people are afraid. First of all, we don't record any calls to get help from us. You don't or call if you even come to see us, because we also can meet. You don't need to start by saying your name or showing your ID. It's not necessary. Of course, if you decide that you want to give some application, there you need to give your name, but we never ask a name. We don't need this for giving you the first or second or third consultation or counseling you. So, and the second answer, that you need to choose who to trust. So if you talk here about trusting the governmental organization or institution, then we also have some allowed to say laws between us, that when we say that the sharing, even the personal data, is really sacred, and so yeah.
And then I think we briefly covered it, but concrete question: can undocumented worker safely report exploitation without fear of immediate deportation? I think that's for you, Margo.
Good question.
Yeah, of course, I cannot say 100% guarantee always, because I don't know what is behind that. But even if the person is documented, we try to figure out the solution. And we had few cases when the person was undocumented. But in Estonia's law also says that if you're a victim of the crime, it's always possibility to apply for your residence permit for the criminal proceedings. So it's always the person's choice what to do next. But of course, if the person is undocumented, we cooperate with the person, sometimes with the embassies, just to get a solution, and the person can then choose what are the next steps.
Whether they would like to leave or whether they would like to cooperate with authorities, and then there's a question of the possible permit.
Because it's always also depends of the problem and also the situation why this person is undocumented.
And this is actually one of the threats what employers make. Even you might even have all the permission, but he might use it and saying it actually you don't. So you kind of should be afraid that you will be again. Another threat is the word deportation, what some bad employers use really well. That if you turn to anybody, you will be deported, or they sometimes even use that they deport you. Like employer has a power in Estonia to deport somebody. This is not true at all.
Yeah, employer cannot say to police that please deport this person, and we do that. It's not possible. And always it's possibility that Estonia is e-country. So in police and the border board website, you can always check your documents validity. Is your working permit really valid? Is your ID card valid? Is your resident card valid? So you can check itself online, and you always know what are the next steps.
Okay, then there's one question about foreign workers in hotels and restaurants. You talked about Ukrainians, but the question was how many foreign workers you now have working in your sector? Do you know the approximate number?
Approximately, I don't know the last numbers, but the percentage is 7 something. So it's really high. We are really dependent on our foreign workers, and of course, we hope that the war will end, but then, of course, we will have a situation where we will get the workforce
So the most are coming from Ukraine, but from some other countries?
Yes, Asian countries, Taiwan, Thailand, because of our spas, because of our cuisine in restaurants. Very often they're working in our kitchens. So, yeah.
Okay, then we have one of the cases described here, and that's a question about gender-based discrimination at work in Estonia. And there's one male colleague, and I couldn't understand from the case here one female colleague. Then not exactly trafficking, but what we suggest, where to ask help, maybe Sirle, and to go with the case, to go further with the case law. One possibility, of course, is if it's a question of the sexual crime, then the door would be police. Then the registering of crime is needed, and then the investigation should follow. If we talk about discrimination at work, then we have the ombudsman for the discrimination of gender questions. It's also possible to go there.
But also to the Labor Dispute Committee.
Exactly.
To make a claim, and then the Labor Dispute Committee decides whether there is gender-based discrimination. Is there grounds to say that somebody has to pay the
civil fee.
Civil fee or something. Yeah, this is one of the options as well. But also, if there is a discriminative or work, how to say it in Estonia, like work bullying in the workplace, then we can't come and stop it. But we can ask from the employer whether there is have been carried out a risk analysis. Have the employer taught what he can do to end these situations.
Okay, so there are several possibilities.
And with the emotional support, still, I think victim support is not is also a good option to just figure it out, because probably it also influenced some emotion and maybe psychological well-being as well. So victim support.
Okay, and I left the best to the last. All of the questions, of course, are important, but how do I understand if the situation is human trafficking? You can start.
Yeah, let's make it really simple. It is the situation where it's difficult. It's really difficult how to explain it. Usually we do big trainings about this, how to understand that this is human trafficking, and we study and learn it. But exploitative situation, let's take it like this, that you feel that in somehow you are so trapped you can't leave. Like I mentioned, this open or a closed door, that the kind of door is not locked, but you know that if you leave, then there will be punishment. So this is enough actually to start to do something. I mean, at least talking with somebody. Let's start from that.
Yeah, maybe Sirle first mentioned that there might be very long working hours or unpaid wages, or sometimes a bit bad working conditions, but this doesn't always mean that this is human trafficking. These are mainly the breaches of employment law, and there might be something background, like there was a huge order coming in, and employer said that okay, this is the time you have to make overtime work for short time, or employer isn't able to pay wages because of the bad economic situation. So these are the cases there. We can't usually say that this is a severe labor exploitation or even human trafficking.
Yeah, I think it's not easy to understand because we, as Sirle told, we train our officers also to notice some small details, and I think nobody doesn't walk around and written that I'm the victim of the
or the trafficker.
Yeah, or the trafficker. I think it's the first is to notice that if the person is in a helpless situation, you can always ask, and as Scarlett also told that maybe it's not the case as trafficker, but still it's a case maybe somebody abuse other person. So I think the most is just to understand or inform that if you see something strange which is in not your maybe level where you want to be, or you see that this is the situation which is not common, so you always can inform us or inform social workers or labor inspectors. It doesn't always mean that we start some proceedings and we do something, but just maybe discuss even, is it possible that could be a problem?
And it was already said by Britta earlier that there's some kind of vulnerability the human has, whether it's not understanding the cultural traditions, not understanding the language. You are already more helpless in these situations if you don't understand. And of course, to have it as trafficking, then you have to have the exploitive circumstances. And that means that someone is doing something for you which you didn't ask, which you didn't say, yes, I'm happy with it. And normally it's said under the power of control, as Sirle taught us earlier. It's done under the threats. It can be violence included. It can be the breaches of your freedom of movement. So these can be kind of the signs of it. But it can be just the circumstances when you rely to the other people, you trust them, and then they actually they just ruin everything with that, and you feel yourself trapped, as you said, and you feel yourself of being you are so much related to these people that you are not able to say no, and you are not able to say no that maybe you are in debt, maybe you earn money for them and you just have to give money for them. So you have all of these kind of agreements, and this might cause the case that it might be trafficking.
But also I think that in this website, rights.ee, we put some examples and some words what describes really easy and quick how the human trafficking or exploitation looks like. And what we have also done, if you just write in Google exploitation in Estonia, human trafficking in Estonia, then you see quite quickly two web pages. One is Ministry of Justice and Digital Ministry, and another is Social Insurance Board. And by the way, you can also find it in Labor Inspectorate, what describes with many different videos, and really quick videos and stories what is human trafficking. I think that this combination of all will give a pretty good answer how it looks like and how it looks like.
Yeah, so it's if to put it into the legislative acts, then you have to have the acts, means and purposes. So if we talk about labor exploitation, that's a purpose. The act can be transportation or recruitment to the workplace, and then the means can be that it's the threat is used in there. There's a debt bondage because you paid for traveling here, you paid for the workplace earlier. So if to add these three together, then we are able to doubt that that's a crime of trafficking. But even if it's not a crime of trafficking, and even there are doubts of not being normal, I mean the situations not being normal, then you should ask for help anyway. Because this might be another crime, it might be the crime of fraud or anything else, but but the assistance is out there. So thank you, the panelists, thank you, the experts. And now we have a short video clip, which also gives the essence to the trafficking and exploitation.
A foreign worker has come forward to share his story. He had to live in poor living conditions and work without proper training. Have you experienced something similar or know someone who has? Let's listen together.
Hello, is this the helpline?
Hello, yes, what happened?
A friend invited me from Uzbekistan to work in Estonia. Okay, it sounded like a good offer. You know, housing, transport and other things covered by the boss. I even brought some friends with me. I mean, he found us a place to stay. Said only 200 euros from each person's salary for the, rent, which sounded okay. But it was 6 of us, in a 2-room apartment. We had to fix things ourselves, even just to get the, water running. And we had to pay for the cleaning, to make it good for living. He also promised to drive us between work every day.
These are not benefits. An employer must ensure a safe and humane working and living environment. If they do not, you have the right to refuse to work or live in such conditions and try to find your own housing. Without a written agreement, the employer has no right to take rent money from your salary. Charging 1,200 euros for a 2-room apartment that still needs repairs to get water? That's not a good deal. That's exploitation. As a tenant, you always have the right to demand a rental agreement. But that's not all.
We met the boss, shook hands, and started work next morning. For work clothes, helmets and other stuff, he took more money from our salaries, and the job was hard in the beginning. Man, we asked other workers for help, but we didn't understand the language.
The employer must provide protective equipment, free of charge, and they cannot ask you to pay for it or take it from your salary. Also, the employer must provide the job training in a language that you understand before you start work, and tell you who you can ask for help. If they do not, they might be tricking you into making mistakes, so they can blame you, pay you less, or force you to work unpaid overtime.
He said he is going to pay us after every workday, but so far, nothing.
Without a written contract, the employer can avoid paying your salary and taxes, which are both illegal things to do. If you are a foreign worker and have problems like not getting paid, living in poor living conditions, not getting proper training, paying for work equipment yourself, or having rent taken from your salary without a written agreement, or if you know someone in this situation, please reach out for help.
From my point, I would like to say a big thank you for the actors who actually made those phone calls, what we have alive, because as I told that we don't record any calls and people can stay anonymous, but we wanted to somehow show you how people call, what they say, and describe those elements of exploitation. So just reminding you that those are played calls by the actors from both sides. Person who was or making the call and person who was receiving the call.
And so thank you for everybody, for all of the participants and viewers and also the panelists. So that was our webinar, Know Your Rights in Estonia. So go to the webpage, rights.ee, you have more information there. And also the ones who are more interested, they have the possibility to go to the seminar, which is organized by the Tallinn Migration Center on the 11th of October, upcoming integration webinar. So just look it up and join it as well. And we were here because the subject is out here in Estonia, we need to see it, we need to react to it, because we would need to investigate more crimes to take the power from these employers who doesn't act as they should be. So take the contacts with the helpline number, as said before, 607 320, and that's a helpline number for the Social Insurance Board and for the trafficking assistance. And if you have any more questions about the webinar, or you wish to ask any more questions from today's panelists, then please send your question to the email info@hamburg.ee. So our partners from this company will collect all of the matters and will come with them to us. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice afternoon, and keep contacting the assistance services. They are free of charge and they are here for you. Bye.